Jolan Tru Centurions, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Mod. I'm Admiral Derek with the Dreadnought R.S. Finn today, as we continue the campaign against the Hydran Star Kingdom, and we have been invading the planet of 111, which happens to be the Hydran homeworld, kicking butt, taking names, and leaving, well, actually a lot of prisoners, because unfortunately it's going to take us quite some time to actually blast through all the defenses on this planet. So, let's just do a quick check on through, make sure that our Romulan optimized cruiser is mostly up to snuff. Apparently we're out of mines, which is not particularly good. I'm not going to bother at this moment refueling the pseudo frigates because, unfortunately, to do so would have a significant drag on my current progress towards getting a King Condor. So we're just going to load up on a decent number of... I can spend the 11 more. We're going to load up on Marines, a decent number of spare parts, and maximum mines. We'll leave the fighter bays empty and set out into space to see if we can't cause a little bit of havoc. And we'll begin with an Enigma, one of the best missions you can possibly take, because the AI, most of the time, is dumb. Mainly because it's incapable of being able to target you after it initially targets this heavy cruiser here. Set plasma torpedoes to enveloping mode. I want to make sure that we deal enough damage. Now, some of you may be surprised to see that there's a Starfleet Command episode here on Monday. Well, we recently had a channel update that went up yesterday. You can go find it on the channel. I'll also try and link it down below just to sort of remind people about it. And we decided that we're going to be making a couple of changes to the schedule. We're going to start playing Starfleet Command on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then we'll be releasing a Rogue Tech episode every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, with the 5 o'clock Saturday stream going on as usual. We will also probably sometime later this month or early next month be adding back in the Wednesday stream, and that will be another stream for Rogue Tech. We're currently trying to sort of push the channel a little bit further. We gained 96 subscribers last night, not last night, but last month, which was amazing. So I just want to put a big thank you to everybody who has subscribed recently and who may be checking out this content, because I'm gonna probably bet most of you signed up for Rogue Tech, but there was also significant gains made from Starfleet Command, especially with this Romulan campaign. You guys have been loving the Romulan campaign, which I'm super happy about. Romulans provide a fascinating playstyle. The inclusion of the cloaking device is an excellent piece of equipment for them and allows them to do some really interesting things. And, you know, fighting the Hydras is always fun too. So let's see if you've got anything on board for me to steal. The answer to that question is absolutely. I'm going to rob you of your dilithium crystals, which are used to manage the chain reaction of the warp core. You're not going to live after this, are you? Well, we know for a fact it's not going to. So quickly, Romulans robbing the pirates of their stuff. It looks like he has fighters. Interesting. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this straight up grab and slam. So we're going to use a tractor anchor to grab onto him, fire all the plasma torpedoes into him as long as he's not going to actually defend himself, and then see if we can't cause a little bit of extra damage with the phasers as we pass on through. I anticipate great results. Death? No. Great results? Absolutely. Alright, so passing within range. We see his shields are not quite as powerful as I kind of figured they would be, so let's lock him up. And tractor. All the plasma. Here's a good, lovely gift for you, my little friend. And then that, and now we can let him go with the tractor beam. He also doesn't have, like, any weapons. I'm kind of surprised how he is a ship with so few fighters and so few weapons as well. All the firing weapons as well. See if we can't break anything else on the ship. The answer to that question is, we knocked out the shuttle bay, which is pretty good. I mean, it means his fighters won't be able to recycle, but he's only got 2 of them, so it's not the biggest of deals. And at the same time, we've knocked out one of his Gatling phasers, although he is attempting to repair the other one. So he's lost most of his weapons. He is an X-type refit ship, which is something we definitely need to keep our eye on trying to get our hands on. X refits are phenomenal. We can basically increase the firepower of our 9 phaser 1s to about 14, 15-ish phaser 1s instead, which is quite handy, because the phaser X does 1.5 times more damage than the phaser 1 when overloaded, although it takes twice as much power. Still, totally worth it. Generally, most X-type ships come with some form of increased power generation. Anyway, alright, so it's just a 1 on 2, actually. Oh no, it looks like they blew up. Did they seriously explode? Because I don't see his fighters, and if I don't see his fighters, they probably blew up. We're going to see if we can't pass on through, hit him with the other weapons. He did manage to lash out with those Gatling phasers, but he's mostly disabled at this point. So we're just going to speed things up, because he cannot possibly survive what we're about to send him. So we're going to get a little bit of distance to allow our plasma torpedoes, and you know what, I'm just going to stagger fire them. It doesn't really need the big salvo, and there he goes. Alright, target has been eliminated, the aerospace pacified, and our influence further pushed forward, which is lovely. So we've got everything mostly under control. Yeah, things are going great. So yeah, 256 prestige is not bad at all, and more importantly, the Empire defense damage. I'm going to pop over here and pop right back on, because I kind of want to keep the tempo going super high in order to take this. Also because attacking planets is generally pretty worthwhile in terms of how much prestige you actually get for it. We'll take the convoy, or the patrol. Straight up MBT-10 patrol, a simple, straightforward battle with which two sides meet in the middle and somebody dies. Hopefully not us. If it is a Monarch class battleship, then that could prove to be somewhat difficult to work with, mainly because we don't have our pseudo frigates, and that would make it much easier to take on the enemy. If we did have our pseudo frigates, they tend to do an excellent job of picking apart single hard targets. So increase the speed of time. We're going to start buzzing on forward, see what we can actually run into. And it is indeed a dreadnought. What kind of dreadnought are we dealing with? It is a Regent class dreadnought, which is a fairly solid dreadnought. So we're going to have to set this up properly. We do, of course, have our mines in order to provide a little bit of a sun wall in order to push him away from us, and more importantly, our plasma torpedoes. We are, however, short on the pseudo frigates, as I mentioned before. The problem is it costs a ridiculous amount of cash in order to actually fully rekit them all, because we're at the era when it's 250 something per pseudo frigate, which is expensive and difficult to come by. So we don't. So right now we're just seeing if we can't sort of skulk around with what we've got, because the KCN X's, the King Condor X-type refits, are available, and I want to use them. Fire the R-type plasma torpedo and break off. Immediately begin your turn. Slow down, actually, and I'm going to put on maximum... We'll put in 1 point of ECM, just to make him have to deal with it. There's his crash stop. He did fire his fusion cannons from maximum range, because he figured he's never going to get a chance to, and that's exactly right. He's never going to get a chance to use them, because we're going to cloak, slip under his fighters, turn on into him, and annihilate him. Now, even if we don't manage to get this turn done quite properly, because of the way that our ship is designed, being a light dreadnought, we can still high energy turn if we need to, but it looks like that probably won't be required, although we are about to pop out a cloak. So wait for the second fighter group to pass, because they can't actually touch us, decloak, and prepare the plasma. So we need to hopefully get this turn kicked around the rest of the way, just in time for him to hit a speed of 4 and fire the plasma, and cloak. And we did that to ensure there would be no effective counterattack. So they should knock down most of his shields. Yep, all of his shields are completely gone. Pardon me. Except for the forward shield, which is still somewhat intact. I'm going to start to increase our speed, and I'm going to start laying down the sun wall. This is, of course, the sun part of the sun wall. It is a nuclear space mine, which should hopefully push him away from us, which, of course, is the goal. We're going to wait for these fighters to pass by us again, and then we're going to start really working on him. So, if you can shoot, I can decloak. Drop another mine. And we're going to reset the shield reinforcement to the aft shields. Alright, looks like he's returning home, which I didn't know he could do. Alright, so we're starting to build our nice little sun wall here. Yeah, it definitely looks like they're returning home, although he may have just ordered them to come back close to him for a defend me order rather than an attack me order. Yeah, that looks like it. Mainly because they haven't gone inside the ship. Now they're mine. So we're just going to create a nice little hook here as we sort of come around. If he wants to get through this hook, then he's going to have to blast forward at super high speeds, and we can just sort of chill behind our nice little wall. As long as we make sure there's not too many holes in it, then he can't really do anything about it, although I suppose he might be able to thread the needle through there, but that would be an interesting setup. Or are you gonna... Nah, I was hoping he was going to let me V the wall. So if he started reversing his direction, I could actually cut out in this direction and start boxing him in. Which, you know, that would have been helpful. Am I not charging? I'm not charging 2 of my plasma torpedoes. Oh god, the stupidity. I needed the speed, but still. Are you thinking about crashing through this wall? Don't think about that. That's a bad idea. That's a really, really bad idea. It's not. It's a fantastic idea, and he doesn't... I think he's realized that. Gotta get behind the wall. We're gonna break into the wall as hard as we can now. I'm gonna see if I can't slip to the other side. It's not something I normally have to do, but I did leave myself enough of room here in order to actually get that done. If he fully reverses direction on this, I can do something about it, but I'm definitely going to come in for this one. So I'm going to slip in through there while we charge our R-type plasma torpedoes. Slow down a little bit more, make sure that R-type is actually charging, because that's critical. And I'm going to go for that gap. And I'm going to have to close it behind me too, which is unfortunate. Alright, so almost the gap. So we have left just enough room for us to slip away. He did manage to hit me with a Hellbore, which is not ideal. How much power do I have for free at the moment? I have 1 more point of speed. And I'm just short of being able to... Oh, don't set off the mines. Don't set off the mines. Slip between them. That's good. That's a good boy. I don't want him actually able to do anything about it. So I'm just going to ease our way in. That's right. You can't touch me. You'd like to, but you can't. And hopefully this is spaced properly, because I think it is. That should give me just enough room to slip in back underneath the wall. Which, this is so expensive to do. It's not terribly expensive, but this is definitely a little bit more cash than I otherwise want to drop down on something. Come on. And then we'll close the wall behind us. Lovely. And he's starting to build the range out, which is making my life a little bit more difficult because it's zooming the camera out. Oh, we got through. Okay, lovely. Come on. Plasma has torpedo fully charged. Give me a little bit more power to throw into my speed. Alright, we're out. So we closed the wall behind us. We made it back through. He's on the wrong side of the wall, and our plasma torpedoes are about to be ready. So that's great. Also, our R-type plasma torpedo might be fully recharged again. It's almost. The pseudo plasma torpedo will be available shortly. I can probably drop out a cloak and annihilate this guy with phasers, although it looks like he's stopped. Oh yeah, he's launched both of his fighter groups. Alright, so we are now fully ready for a confrontation once again. So we are just going to allow him to sprint towards the front of this wall. And he can blink away with his phasers all he wants. So get ready for the counter-strike. Because this was expensive, but fully set up. Now, to be fair, the nuclear space mine is free, so we don't have to worry about prices on that one. Oh, are you pulling away from me now? Don't do that. Come back. I mean, I might be able to fit through this section of the wall as well. We're going to come on in towards him, and then we're going to slip on away. Oh, this is a very slow strategic style of playing that we've been sort of like practicing on going through at this point. He's got fighters inbound, which is obviously not ideal. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to decloak. I'm going to fire. I'm going to recloak. And he's going to fire, and he's going to nail me twice. However, I am going to duck underneath his fighters, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Going to slow down a lot more here. Just because I don't actually want to go in on this one. I know, it's a bit odd, but if I go in, I have to pass through the wall. I don't... Did you not? He didn't. He did not attempt to defend himself. That's not cool. Fire everything, fire everything. And... Crash up, come on. Why do you not respond? Why do you not react? I mean, I'm gonna have to see what this does. He just tanked it! And he also knocked through my forward shield. So, yeah, that was interesting. Knocked out his shuttle bay, okay. Right. So I'm not quite sure why he wasn't reacting to that. He has the mines to do it. Or not the mines, but he's got the capability to do it. Alright, let's shut the wall again. Although that hole is pretty useful. In order for him to get around that much, he'd have to turn a lot more. And he'd have to also go wide out. I think I can curl inside this mine, just because of the angle here, and also we're fairly nimble. But yeah, that was interesting. Did I take... No, I didn't. Okay. So I thought for a moment that maybe I had taken some sort of extra damage. But we're traveling at a speed of 4. All of our systems are charging. We should be good. I don't have any power in the shields. Oh, because half point of power in the electronic countermeasure, which doesn't give me anything, so I'll give it back to the shields. Alright, I probably do need to swap the shield reinforcement to the forward shield, just because it's the weak shield now, and if he manages to hit me with a hellbore, I'd like a little bit of defense. Ah, that's not good. The wall has just become severely weakened, although it looks like he took a pretty nasty hit. He's down to a speed of 2.7, so he's not having the best of days. It's really actually tempting to try and sprint away from him. I mean, I could do it, maybe. Oh, I wish I had a probe with better information on him. So he doesn't have a shuttle bay, so we can basically bully him. At this point, actually, we could go into a full high-speed engagement, because he literally can't stop us. So what I really need right now is distance. But the mines are slowly decaying, which is fine. He's not going to be able to catch me anyway. And in fact, all I'm going to do is I'm going to extend the range out. I'm going to let him sit there. Go decloak. Probably shouldn't, but I want to see if I can't kill these fighters. And never mind, we went back in. Must have bumped the button. That's okay. I'm not super worried about it right now. Plus, I'm about to have all of my plasma torpedoes ready once again. So let's start to curl back on in. Nice and gentle, nice and slow. Well-paced is the key here. Because if we go in crazy, then we could potentially lose our forward shield, as we already have. So we want to basically try, and what that initial salvo was doing, I was trying to get him to crash stop and then hide underneath, and then I was going to fire my plasma torpedoes once he was at a range of about speed of about 3.5 and immediately cloak, because by the time that the plasma torpedoes reached him, then he would no longer have that protection of the shuttle, but also he wouldn't shoot at me before it actually made it to him. So that had kind of been my plan. Unfortunately, it didn't work because the ship apparently didn't have any more shuttles, which was not ideal. Okay, forward shield powering up to a full power, and we are in range. And drop into cloak. Goodbye, sir, and thank you for your time. I don't think he's going to survive this. He might. I mean, it's possible, but no. Alright, so a mostly properly executed Romulan plasma dance. It's not really a saber dance, but that worked out quite lovely. We hooked him with the mines, we kept him away for the additional turns that we needed, slipped through the minefield because we had just enough space, then came back through the minefield again and nailed him, which that is about as Romulan, I think, as you can possibly get. Tile neutralized. We're going to pass back on over here. Hi, it's a shipyard assault. These can take a while, but hey, we're going to rock and roll with it, see if we can't annihilate everything. Maybe we'll be lucky and it's just a whole bunch of little tiny frigates. We were not that lucky, but we're going to work on it. So we have, escorting us, the Jaya Hart, as well as the Fides, which is a Klingon K9 battleship with Romulan tech, and then apparently 2 heavy cruisers? 2 heavy cruisers, lovely. There could be a third one out there as well. We're going to kind of hope there isn't, although you're right in front of me, aren't we? Yeah, so there's a third one right over there. So we're going to have to deal with that as we move forward. I think I want to slip on over by the K9. Because the Jaya Hart should have things under control. He is a Firehawk, so he does have some pretty hot plasma torpedoes, which should help him out pretty considerably. Let's get our speed fully up there. And our phasers are fully charged. Lovely. Reinforce the forward shield. Get ourselves ready for an actual straight-up battle. Set up probes, see if we can't identify a third vessel, because if not, then 3 on 2 is actually a wonderful engagement ratio for us. And it's looking good. Okay, so 4 Hellbores is a pretty nasty amount of firepower, and the phasers aren't bad either. He's packing no less than 9 of them. So he matches my phaser armament, but I'm willing to bet all of them shoot forward, whereas only half of ours do. So that's unpleasant. He also has a G-type plasma torpedo, or G-type phasers to go along with that, just to make life extra special and irritating if you manage to get behind him. And I assume he's a carrier of some description. I mean, after all, he's a Hydron ship. He's got fewer ships than I thought he would. He also was quite accurate on me utilizing his heavy weapons. Let's go for maximum countermeasure. It sounded like my little buddy has decided he's going to decloak, or actually drive into cloak, and prepare the pseudo. Okay, there goes the pseudo. We're going to start breaking off the port. Heading into his fighters, we can actually probably just overwhelm his fighters with phaser firepower. I'm kind of planning on doing that. Long range fire coming in from his phasers. I kind of wish he hadn't done that. The jink into me was a good plan, because now it's made it more difficult for me to sort of go back into him. I wanted to come to his side to make him extra vulnerable. Oh, little killer bees, I'm going to kill you. I don't know if you've realized this yet, but you're probably not going to survive. Although maybe. We don't exactly have very much when it comes to point-blank range systems. Hey, we had just enough, lovely. He's starting to accelerate. We're going to start to decelerate. And prepare the plasma barrage. 3, 2, 1, now. And cloak. By the time he comes out of cloak, not quite. We'll have to do it a little bit earlier, especially on these longer range shots. Oh, he's mostly dead, and these will probably kill him, because this is essentially another entire barrage coming straight from us. So, oh, he's alive. How are you alive? He still has most of his weapons too. More plasma torpedoes are going out, and he's got even more plasma incoming. Yeah, he's not gonna live much longer. If he survives this plasma F, yeah, then he's got 2 more R's coming in behind him, and still alive? Still alive. This is one tough ship. And you actually hurt me quite a bit there. Fire the out-firing phasers. Come on, you can do it. There we go. There we go. Got that taken care of. On to the MHX, which I believe used to have fighters and now no longer does. Oh, we don't want to be anywhere near that. Duck into cloak, slow down speed. And the reason why we're ducking is because he's got 6 fusion cannons. If he actually uses them at close range, then we're going to be in a lot of trouble. He's also got a fairly significant amount of phasers as well. He's got the same setup. Basically, those 2 cruisers are complementary. The one is used for long range, the other is used for short range. I'm not a huge fan of that, just because I kind of prefer to have weapons that'll work at all ranges. So if I had to pick one, I would definitely pick the Hellbore one, because the Hellbore one becomes more powerful. Although I can understand the concept behind it, I just don't think it's a great one. Gonna increase the speed of time, unless he's gonna get to me. He's launched his fighters again, which may end up backfiring pretty significantly on him. Oh, that's what we're talking about. He suicide overloaded those too. So he's gonna run right into that mine, which is gonna hurt him a lot. And I'm gonna decloak. Wait a second. Those are not killer bees. At least they're not killer bee ones. Show me the side. Nope, it's dead. Hi, buddy. Surprise. What you gonna do about it? That's what I thought you were gonna do about it. I'll stop. Alright, so we're too close to make this work properly. But I do need the time anyway, just in order to set this up. So the reason why I'm too close to actually set this up properly is because what I need to do is I need to be able to fire these plasma torpedoes and then cloak. Unfortunately, he's going to start accelerating, and by the time I can fire and then cloak, it's just going to be too close. So 3, 2... Now, I'm going to see if I can't force it to work. That's good hit. That's more good hits. He did manage to hit me in the front, but then he's got a lot more plasma incoming. And he's hurting. Oh boy, is he hurting. Let's pick up the speed a little bit. Let's slip on away from him. His Gatling phasers can't touch me anyway, so I don't really care about those. The Phaser X's absolutely can hurt me. So I'd love to drop a nuclear space mine, but I get the feeling that wouldn't exactly be the most brilliant strategy ever, considering we're sort of in close with 2 other ships. I do want to sort of get out of this battle without actually losing my shields. Kind of important to me. Don't do that. Well, at least you kill him. But seriously, don't do that, guys. Alright, drop out a cloak. Increase the speed of time. We're going to go blow up a whole bunch of Starducks. Apparently they are Federation Starducks equipped with missile launchers, so quite dangerous and deadly. Let me guess. You're going to have trouble, aren't you? Activate the tractor beam. We're going to prepare and... Oh, are you actually going? Well, you're going incredibly slowly, so you know what? I'm going to help you out with that. Alright, plasma torpedoes are all charged. All systems ready to rock and or roll, so we're going to kick up the power to the maximum. And I'm going to grab you and I'm going to give you a little bit of a shove. Let's do this quick, buddy. I don't care which one we go for, just as long as we go for one. Don't you wallow. Just stay on course. There's nothing wrong with what's going on. Everything is awesome. Just keep on driving. And maybe shoot those down. Not sure why you're not. That's really kind of weird, actually. What are you doing? You fired those at maximum range, buddy. He's not even going to launch a pseudo-frigate, or a Wild Weasel shuttle in order to take care of those. Stop being dumb. Don't be stupid. Alright, so let's get ready to let him go so we can actually engage the Starduck properly. There you go. You're actually in combat range now. Take care of it for me. You, on the other hand, I'm going to dive right on top of you. So, and the reason why I shifted over to this one is because he should be able to handle that with just of his phasers. Although, you know, with the AI, all things are possible. So we're going to basically chug up right kind of next to him. Get nice and close so that our phasers are going to be very close to the Wild Weasel that we're about to force him to deploy. And I could go for a full steal on this one, I suppose. In fact, I may actually try that. So, Plasma R. Fire the pseudo. Wait for him to launch the shuttle. Kill the shuttle. Shuttle is dead. Lovely. Increase the speed of time. Wait for the shuttle to blink away out of existence. And fire the plasma torpedoes. And he's lost all of his shields. And my phasers were not yet ready. If I wanted to grab him, how many? 5? Yeah, that's good enough. Never mind. I wanted to weaken it just a little bit more, but apparently that was just too much for it. Alright, back up to speed. Let's get ready to wipe out this last Starduck. So yeah, my original intention was, let me just weaken it a bit more, and I forgot. It's incredibly weak. You really do have to set your weapons to have power if you want to steal that one. They are just stream firing all kinds of plasma in on this guy, and he doesn't care, because most of them can't actually... Oh no, he did! Oh, I'm not going to be there in time. I'm not going to be next to him in time. Fire the pseudos. Oh, that worked out way better than I thought it was going to. I thought that was going to end in disaster. Mainly because I thought I was going to fire them too close and splash back to me, but it looked fairly decent. Alright, so our little light dreadnought doing an excellent job. Primal optimized cruisers are so good. 450 prestige for a job well done. A little less than we could have gotten if we had gone crazy on making sure that we got everything efficiently. But that's going to do it for today's episode. I've been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you receive a notification every time I post one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, share the video, maybe join us for a Twitch stream over on Saturdays at 5 o'clock. And I will see you all in the next episode.